Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into the world of K-pop. On one hand, it feels like it's taking over the planet, breaking records left and right. But on the other, there's this growing fear among fans that the whole thing is a bubble just waiting to pop. So what's the real story?
This quote from a fan on Reddit just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures this feeling that the industry is just too crowded, that it can't possibly last. It's a really powerful thought, right? So let's unpack it and see what's actually happening. All right, so part one, the thesis. The big question, is K-pop actually a bubble? The basic idea from fans and even some folks in the industry is that the companies are acting like the boom times are still here, when maybe, just maybe, they're not. And that's causing some major issues. Okay, so here's what fans are seeing. First off, a 20% drop in album sales from 2023 to 2024. That's a huge red flag, right? It feels like the market is correcting itself. But at the exact same time, companies are just pumping out new groups like there's no tomorrow. I mean, look at a giant like HYBE. 6 new girl groups in just 3 years. Fans just don't have the time or, let's be real, the money to keep up with everyone. It really feels like the industry is starting to cannibalize itself. So the fear is, the industry has peaked. It's hit its high point and is now on the way down. You've got this shrinking pie and way too many groups fighting for a smaller and smaller slice. It's a pretty scary picture, for sure. But does the data actually back that up? All right, part two, the antithesis. Let's look at the other side of the coin. Because if you pull back and look at the global numbers, the story of K-pop being in decline starts to look, well, a little different. Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. See, yeah, physical album sales had that dip we talked about, but look at the total revenue for the big four companies. It's not just steady, it's climbing, and in some cases, climbing dramatically. I mean, just check out HYBE's growth here. It's absolutely massive. This tells you the business is way, way bigger than just selling albums. And then there's this number, 90.4 billion. That's billion with a B. That is the number of on-demand streams for just the top 100 K-pop artists around the world. And get this, that's a 42.2% increase from the year before. So while one number, physical sales, might be down, the digital side of things isn't just growing, it's absolutely exploding. And we're not just talking about Korea anymore. K-pop is a global export machine. Japan and the US are basically tied, with almost 10 billion streams each. But then look at the growth in places like Southeast Asia. Vietnam's up 59%. Hong Kong is up 60%. So the market isn't shrinking at all. It's just getting bigger and finding new fans all over the planet. Okay, part three, the synthesis. So here's the thing. K-pop isn't just growing or shrinking. It's changing. It's evolving. The old ways of measuring success just don't apply anymore. Its influence goes way beyond album sales. And to really get what's happening, you have to understand this idea of soft power. It's a term from international relations, but the idea is simple. It's a country's ability to influence others not through force, but through culture. Think music, movies, art, things that make people love your country. It's a really powerful tool. And here is that idea in action. Seriously, this shows the link between a K-pop group's popularity, that's their brand reputation index, which is just a fancy way of saying how much the public likes them, and the approval ratings of political leaders they meet. When a group like BTS meets with a president, their global appeal literally becomes a part of South Korea's national image. It's diplomacy through music. But here's the kicker. This influence isn't just coming from the top down, from the government using idols as diplomats. No way. The fans themselves have become a massive political and cultural force. They've gone from just being consumers to being creators and activists. I mean, think about it. The K-pop fan has totally changed. It's not just about buying albums anymore. This is an organized global community. These are the fans who organize to reserve thousands of empty seats at a political rally, the ones who can drown out racist hashtags on social media in minutes. They're even inventing new language like I Purple You that huge brands like McDonald's end up using. That's real power. Dr. Jiyoon Kiar from Oxford sums it up perfectly. Fans are now actively constructing the meaning of K-pop. It's a huge shift. This means K-pop's influence is now baked into global culture, and it's being driven by this incredibly powerful international community of fans. Okay, part four, growth, correction, or both. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. That 20% drop in album sales, was that really the warning sign everyone thought it was? Well, when you actually zoom out and look at the sales over time, a totally different story starts to take shape. Just look at the jump from 2022 to 2023. Sales didn't just grow, they exploded. We're talking a leap of over 40 million albums in a single year, hitting 115 million. That was a huge, once-in-a-lifetime kind of year, thanks to massive releases from groups like 17 and Stray Kids. So let's put that drop into perspective. Sure, 2024 was lower than the absolutely wild numbers of 2023. But at over 92 million albums, it was still way higher than 2022 and higher than any year before that. So it wasn't a collapse. It was a correction after a total anomaly. It was the market just coming back to earth.
What we're seeing here isn't an industry that's dying. It's an industry that's maturing. These are growing pains. The K-pop machine is just having to adapt to a bigger, more complicated global market where you can't just judge success by one number anymore. So the K-pop machine isn't breaking down. It's just shifting gears. The real challenge isn't about survival. It's about adaptation. The question isn't if K-pop is going to survive. The real question is, what does it become next? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.